This is entirely different. And what I'm, to put it simply, if Candace were not doing this, this would not be happening. If she were not going live cynically every day exploiting this, it wouldn't be happening. No one else would be doing it. And there would be no hysteria and paranoia over this. People might have some lingering doubts and questions about the assassination. People would be eager to see the case against Tyler Robinson and what the evidence is. People would still be talking about it, but no one would be connecting it to Brigitte Macron. Nobody be taking it there. Nobody be talking about Egyptian planes and maroon shirts. Nobody be motherfucking Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA. This is just her. Like, she's doing that unnecessarily because it feeds her ego and it makes her richer. And it's hurting.
Yeah. I mean, people are money motivated. We've really, especially when the dollars start flowing in, it's going to change your perception. Anyone can say, oh, I would never do that for money, but no one can really honestly say that until they're in that situation. I think we all know this.
The country. It's hurting the conversation. It's setting back the credibility of anybody that has ever doubted the FBI, actually, on anything.
That's right. And, we don't need to set, people are suspicious these days. People don't believe in systems or institutions, their credibility. So if you're going to go out and cry wolf, you really have to have the facts on your side. Don't jump to conclusions too early, because people are looking for a reason to doubt anything, anyone that they trust, anything that comes their way, any piece of information. People are skeptical, and for these reasons.
Because it's so reckless. And it has to stop. Somebody's going to have to put an end to it. And like I said, I'm going to watch the stream on Monday. And listen, a lot of people don't have the resources or the brain power to do this. If Turning Point is not successful, I'm going to put it together and I am going to blow a gaping fucking hole in her credibility that she will not recover from. I will tell her entire story that nobody knows, her spook-ass, weird husband. I'll tell the story about her donor, who is a Scientologist. I'll tell the story about Rebecca Mercer. I'll tell the story about how she was suing people for racism and doxing conservatives. We'll tell the whole story. We will blow a giant hole in her credibility that she will never be able to put back together.
I mean, these are things I'm not aware of about Candace Owens, but wouldn't surprise me. People in the media, people who have these big platforms, and I'm not going to say all of them, but you have to ask yourself: is there a bit of narcissism involved in their daily thought process? Are they truly doing all these things because they're quote unquote truth tellers, or are they doing these things to serve their own purpose, their own agenda? I mean, people, come on, people. Human beings are simple creatures. We don't always do things out of the kindness of our hearts. And you've got to really start questioning motives, especially with people with these big platforms. How much money has Candace Owens made in the past, 3 months since the death of Charlie Kirk? Is that not a legitimate question to ask? Would that not factor into your opinion of her? It would mine. I'd like to know. I think it's relevant. That's all I'm saying.
Because this has to stop. It's ridiculous. A whole country is being held hostage by this ridiculous black narcissist, this idiot. And that's what she is. It's a shame.
It's just to say, that those are tough words from Nick over here, but I'm a fan of both Nick and both Candace. I like their content. I've followed them for quite a while. Especially Candace, maybe a little bit more longer than Nick, just because she's been on the scene a little bit longer than Nick. At least being platformed and allowed a platform. So it's just it's a little bit concerning and a little bit frustrating to see what's going on with some of the infighting. But also, I think it's going to filter out a lot of the people who are just not sincere. And there's plenty of those people in the conservative, quote unquote, conservative movement. It's a grift show. A lot of it because it's trending. People are going to hop on that bandwagon. So that's just needed to be said.
Really admire Tim Pool. He's really, there's no love lost between me and Tim Pool. but I admire how Tim Pool stood up to her. That being said, he goes, oh, she's a genius. He had her flying henchman, the gay pedophile, on the week before. And Tim Pool says, she's a genius. She's not a genius. She's a fucking idiot. And everybody needs to be clear about that. Let's just drop the pretense. She is not genius. She's not even smart. She is a fucking idiot. The only thing that she knows how to do instinctually is manipulate. That's it. Today she said, Eric.
Well, I don't know that that's the case with Candace Owens. What I can say is she is a female, and unfortunately, females know how to manipulate. It seems as if that's kind of their modus operandi. At least that's what they fall back on when nothing else is working, and they're good at it, because they've learned throughout time to be understand that they're obviously they don't have the physicality that men have. They can't impose their will, so they have to be in the background and figure out a way to get what they want, in a non-physical way. That's manipulation. That's however they choose to do it. So I mean, I can see that happening. You see that happening with a lot of females in a lot of different scenarios. So I'm going to put it past her.
Kirk needs to compartmentalize her business and her personal life. But she didn't say compartmentalize. She said compartmentalize. 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 Erica Kirk is going to bury the story because she can't compartmentalize. Shit, she can't compartmentalize. She can't compartmentalization is. She can't compartmentalize and all that. She can't compartmentalize that. She's a fucking idiot.
Tough words over there from Nick, but obviously there's not the greatest blood between the two of these people. But hey, like I said, I think this will bring to light a lot of the truth, and the lack of authenticity in some of a lot of these people who are quote unquote, since Charlie's died, quote unquote, taking the reins of the conservative movement or whatever. But I think there's a lot of insincere people about it who don't really believe what they're saying. They just see dollar signs.
Never seen a stupider person have a bigger platform. Honest to God. I mean, say what you want about.
I have. There's hella stupid people with big platforms out there these days. It's almost like you need to be an idiot to have 1 million followers. It's almost like a prerequisite.
Tucker, he's no dummy.
No, I don't think so.
He may be dishonest, but he's no dummy. And say what you want about a lot of these people. They're smarter than you give them credit for. This person's a fucking retard. And a malicious, she's just a sick person. So it has to stop. Anyway, I'll stop my rant about it, but she's driving it to this point, and I'm going to have to be the Dark Knight here. It's sort of funny. All these conservatives that were trashing me and hating on me, now they're counting on me. Now they're counting on me to take her down. Erica couldn't do it. Blake Neff couldn't do it. I can. And they know that. So a lot of them are cheering me on. They're saying, I hate Nick. I don't agree with Nick, but he's right on this. Because I'm a true believer. I'm a true believer, and I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so that's where we are with the whole conspiracy. It's really, and here's what I really hate about it at the end of the day. There's no integrity. There's absolutely no integrity. What I strive to do on the show more than anything else is tell the truth. I'm pro truth. That numbskull Ian Carroll said, you're on this side and we're on this side. I'm on the side of the truth. I go where the truth is. The truth leads and I follow. I'm not, he goes, you're vulnerable. People don't like what you're saying. You're with these people and we're over here. Do you think this is a team sport? I don't got a fucking jersey on, pal. I didn't sign a contract. I go where the truth leads.
As we all should, especially these days where the lies are everywhere, in our face, being shoved down our throat. Just eat it up, fucking bread and circuses for the people. And the truth is a tough position to take these days, it seems like. People don't like the truth. Dare I say, people don't want the truth as much as they say that they do. I'm not so sure that they really, that's actually what they want. They want convenience and they want comfortability. And when you take those away from people, they get offended, even if you're giving them something that you know they need, the medicine, which is the truth. But I think we all should seek that. So you keep your mind open and keep your antennas up for the bullshit. You got to be on the lookout for that because there's plenty of it going around.
And what led me to believe in my convictions about the Jews in Israel, it's because that's where the truth is. What led me to my conviction in the Catholic Church, that's where the truth led me. What led me to my conviction about race realism, it's where the truth led me. That's why people say all the time, well, a broken clock. I'm liberal, but I'm agreeing with him. I can't really figure him out. What's this guy's deal? It's because I go where the truth leads. And what I hate about this situation is the complete disregard. There's no regard for the truth. There's no intellectual integrity. For example, a lot of ballistics experts have come out in the past few days and they have said that the big theory, really the only evidence that has been provided, is that a 30-06 caliber bullet should have left an exit wound or transformed Charlie Kirk into a pink mist. Because this big bullet didn't blow up Charlie Kirk's head, it had to have been a handgun or a smaller caliber bullet. That's what they say. Well, ballistics experts have come out and they have said that this depends on a lot of different variables. The distance, the angle, the quality of the ammunition, what kind of ammunition it was. And they say it's perfectly plausible. Not necessarily, but it is plausible that depending upon these different factors, a bullet could have penetrated the skin and either broken into two pieces, or it could have angled down. They call that yaw. It could have angled down. It could have changed direction. They say that a lot of different things could have happened, and it is possible that the bullet lodged in Charlie Kirk's vertebrae. This is a perfect example. And you have real ballistics experts saying this. You have people that are ammunition experts, ballistic experts. They are saying it's not comparable when you shoot a ground beef versus when you're shooting a human being. They're different. Ian Carroll says, well, we're not saying it's impossible that that happened. We're saying it's astronomically unlikely. Really? Because then somebody found the tweet from October where Ian Carroll said it's impossible that the bullet could have done that. Do you see? So in October, he says, a bullet could not do that. It is literally impossible. This is airtight, concrete proof. It is impossible. There's no other explanation. Had to have been shot by some other round. That was October. December, ballistics experts come out and dispute it. Well, we never said it was impossible. We said it's astronomically unlikely. Okay, so which is it? First of all, you did say that. First of all, you built your whole case on that. You built your whole case. First of all, you're a complete amateur. You have no expertise. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not an expert. You're not a physicist. You don't know.
And it's important to call those people out, especially on the internet with bigger platforms. Where are they getting this information from? Are they making it up? A lot of times they are. Are they pulling statistics out of their... Yeah, they are a lot of times. You know, are they depending on unreliable sources? These are questions that need to be asked. I mean, in the age, I hate to say it, of disinformation, misinformation, governments involved. I mean, social media being the number one source of information for a lot of people, especially if you're below the age of 40. Where does the buck stop? There's obviously no accountability for someone being wrong. I mean, other than, you know, the public square accountability, but that comes and goes. You really have to question a lot of people and a lot of information that you see on a daily basis. And I think this is what Nick is saying here. You know, people And I don't believe that Ian Carroll or even Candace Owens believe half of the shit that they're saying. It's a performative art for them. You know, this is about views. This is about clickbait. This is about um, hopping on the bandwagon of people's outrage and people's genuine concerns and anxieties. And yeah, is it cheap? Yes. But is it profitable? Yes. And we that's the type of mentality we have, especially here in America. I would say a lot of the world, but especially here in America, where it's complete consumerism all the time, 24/7. People just want to hear something to stir their senses, or they want that short clip of information that is going to feed a narrative that they already want to believe. And it's called confirmation bias. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard about this. But you need to be so careful about what you choose to believe. And honestly, you should question everything. A smart man once said that, question everything. And that's where I am. You know, you got to get your information in the aggregate. You have to look at both sides of the spectrum. Somewhere in between, you're going to find the truth, or at least the most probable truth. You know, you can never know something for sure 100%. Life doesn't always work out that way. But you can use your learned experience to know, okay, this is what I know about people. This is what I know about the past and how it's worked out. Um, it serves the purpose that if it happened this many times in the past, it's likely to happen again. People haven't really changed as far as what our motivations are, what our behaviors are, you know, our psychology for hundreds of years. I mean, it's very similar. Our technology's changed, our culture has changed, but I don't think people and their base motivations have changed in that much time. So it's really important to question a lot of stuff and get as many um, opposing views, and then just use your own common sense about what you know, what you choose to believe, what people's motivation for saying this or that might be. Um, and Be willing to have an open mind, and don't go into a conversation thinking that you're smarter than everyone else, because that's not a position that a smart person would take. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the Nick Candace Owens beef, and I'm sure it's going to be ongoing. So we'll probably have some more content to drop in the next couple of days. Candace Owens is doing a live stream tomorrow, which is going to be Monday. You guys should probably watch that. And I know I will. I'll do a response video to that as well. But until then, boys, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.